Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League. I'm your best friend, Gallium, and today, to start off this Monday, we have an exceptional match coming your way. Rival League action. We have Galaxy taking on Hydra, and I'm joined in the booth by the absolute GOAT, Dronas. How you doing?
I'm doing incredible. It's good to be back. Good to be back here in week number 6. And yeah, this is a really interesting matchup to look at in the rival league. Hydra has been they've been a fun team to watch. They have had some really strong matchups. They started the season 5-0 and now they are 7-3. They have had 3 losses out of their last 5 matches and all 3 of those losses were game 5 losses. They have had some tough luck as of recent times.
You know, and I think one of those losses was on stream. So, just a little extra salt in the wound there. But besides this matchup being great, I just want to preface this beforehand. We will not have player of the week today. That will be on Wednesday. So I'm sorry if you tuned into the stream for player of the week. Still stick around because this matchup is going to be incredible. We have Galaxy against Hydra. Hydra don't have Dr.Brown for this matchup. They're going to be feeling Saucy Oshi and Calibur. And I honestly, that's a big blow for this Hydra squad.
Yeah, Dr. Brown has proved to be a leader for that team. I mean, he's kind of one of the tops in the MMR, but he also really has been able to show out as kind of one of the backbones of that team. It'll be really interesting to see how they do without him. Again, they've been facing that tough luck lately. We'll see if they can turn it around without Dr. Brown versus Galaxy.
You know what? They might just do it as Galaxy's going to field ACX, Spuf, and Boy Wonder. We're getting game number 1 underway here, ladies and gentlemen. And the kickoff is going the way of this Hydra squad. Boy Wonder is going to get up with it. Boy Wonder, newly acquired player for this Galaxy squad. We'll see what kind of a difference he makes, but almost not much of one, as a goal was almost had there. Demo coming out. Can't quite find the back of the net as a double commit coming out now for this Galaxy squad. And luckily, the third man bats it away. Saucy takes a nice 50. Boy Wonder with an attempt of a shot, but it deflects off of a defender. Spuf up to ACX, down to Boy Wonder, and oh my goodness, what a save from Saucy. How did he get to that one?
I don't know. That was a great lunging stop. You got to felt that there should have been a follow-up there for Galaxy, but no one wanted to go for the second shot. It was just left wide open, and Hydra able to get back now in transition.
Oh my goodness, that is an incredible save. And, you can't shoot it better than that. I mean, it was top right. And, it just shows that this Hydra team won't quit. Even when they're down their best player, they still will fight to the bitter end as we have Spuf over to Boy Wonder, who hits it off the backboard. ACX down the pitch into the goal, and he has his first of the match.
Yeah, able to just turn things up. You can see the defense get a little bit too clustered, and then Calibur flipping off the crossbar just the wrong way. Wanted that squishy save, but no dice.
Yeah, Calibur is the lowest MMR player on this Hydra squad. He's subbing in for Dr. Brown. Big shoes to fill, but you know what? I've seen crazier as we have Boy Wonder taking it down the pitch, and Spuf is up with this one. Spuf, my fellow AGM, gotta love that guy. Right, I'm excited to see him play. We have the GM and AGM of Space Jam on the same team, so it's just exciting stuff for the Space Jam organization as we have Hydra taking it up. So far, have gotten very little offense, and if I'm going to be quite honest here, Dronas, I can't remember the last time they were in the offensive zone.
Yeah, they've been getting pushed back time and time again, and we'll see if they're going to be able to turn it around. I mean, I'm really interested in seeing really these two teams figure each other out as time goes on. We've seen Hydra; they've had tough luck in the longer series, and I think if Galaxy are able to push them maybe to a game 4, to a game 5, that's going to favor them.
You know what? I honestly think it will. As you know what, you know what, Hydra, they might not have the offense right now, but as we see a nice pass coming out and no follow-up, it seems like no one wants to follow up and score the ball so far. Saucy dishes it out. He's going to be on the sidewall. Spuf going to get a demo on Calibur. Oshi with a shot. He really impressed me in his game on stream a couple weeks back. I believe I casted that one, and he just looked phenomenal in his stream debut. And I look to see I'm looking for him to really make a difference here. It's Boy Wonder with a shot. He's going to sneak in his first.
Yeah, and that's Axe up high, clearing the path, just sends it off the back wall. Saucy up, but not for long. Boy Wonder right side behind the defense, and Galaxy double their lead.
Wow. Incredible that they have gotten the lead this quickly against a Hydra squad who's pretty good. As we see Spuf gets a touch. Can't find the 50 there. Oshi takes it down. Boy Wonder seems to find the ball. He is a magnet attached to his car that just brings the ball to him. An exceptional shooter. I think that's his best quality is Spuf. Off the backboard, Axe, can he read this? No, he cannot. Spuf, unfortunately, cannot make contact with that one. Axe up with one, tries to get a second, a nice 50, and that's what you want from your first man right there, getting a nice 50. And Hydra still in their own end, can't quite break out as this Galaxy pressure is mounting, and it seems like it might be greater than ever.
Yeah, we saw Hydra they kind of got off to a hot start in this game. We saw a lot of early shooting, but weren't really able to break through. Now we're seeing another good shot, but still nothing quite enough, and maybe something might start to turn around here in the last 90 seconds. It's going to have to.
You know what? I honestly, I could see that happening for sure, but you know, they have a long road ahead of them. Let's just hope this road isn't too long and too dark as Boy Wonder is up with it, gets one past two and almost gets the ball hit right back into his car. He was no boost, just floating towards that one. Axe off the backboard. Colabir with 0 boost. Tries to pass it to Ochi, but passes it right to Spuf, and Spuf is going to get his first.
Yeah, just one of those one missed touch. You can see the entire defense extremely congested, moving up the field. Spuf said, thank you very much, puts it in himself, and Galaxy, they don't look like they're going to slow down at this point.
No, not at all. It seems like they have a firm grasp on not only this game one, but the series so far. So Hydra going to have to make some adjustments, if not in this game one, but the rest of the series. Is actually a nice save on the goal line. And you know what? This Hydra squad, they've had the shots. I'll give them credit. They've had 6 shots so far. Galaxy has 6 shots as well. So it's not like they're getting outshot. I just feel like the chances aren't as quality as I think Galaxy's chances are. Obviously, they've capitalized on most of them. As Boy Wonder, speaking of a chance, it's off the backboard. Can't quite find the touch. It's sent out. Boy Wonder is going to let Axe have this one. Axe gets a touch. Boy Wonder going to chase down that ball. Oshi just on the backboard waiting for anything to develop. Axe off the backboard himself gets a couple nice touches, but keeps it going to the sidewall, just keeping possession. A very good trait in an elite team. Boy Wonder off the ceiling, can't find the next touch, and now Axe, he might have a shot. He doesn't. Ball's floating up, 1 second left. Spuf is going to go for the bump, and that's a game 1 victory for Galaxy in very convincing fashion.
Yeah, they ultimately just look so clean at this point, and they didn't have to do too much. Hydra, unfortunately, just could not get anything going offensively. You can see in that shot category, it was the same. Galaxy had 6, Hydra had 6, but obviously the scoreline of 3-0 just stands out completely. We saw Galaxy, their defense, a little bit sharper. Hydra, theirs not quite as much. It looked a little bit awkward at times, but the other thing is Hydra, they need to be better with those shots. They need to be more intentional. They need to find a way to get through more consistently because Galaxy, they didn't look like they needed to do too much.
You know, at Galaxy, they just looked like everything was flowing so smoothly on the offensive zone. What I really appreciated is they kept possession pretty much the entire time. Even though they couldn't generate a chance at sometimes, they just kept air dribbling the ball to the other wall just for another teammate to come and keep possession. So that's what you see out of very good teams is that momentum. You got to keep the opposing team on the back foot at all times. And I think that's what Galaxy did so well in that game 1, but it's now game 2. We're at the train station. Some crazy things could happen in this game 2. Hydra gonna need to win this one to have any hope in this series. It seems as wait a second, Spuf almost gonna have a shot. Boy Wonder with almost a full tank of boost, just gonna pass it down. Ace not gonna be there to get it. Spuf flips away from it, and now Ace gets a nice 50. Oshi off the backboard. Saucy gonna leave it, and now Boy Wonder gets a touch, gets a nice 50, and now Spuf and Ace kind of both gather to get that one down the pitch. Spuf up with one. Oshi gonna try to beat out Boy Wonder, and he's very successful. And you know what? With almost a minute gone in this match, it seems like it's just gonna be the same old from this Galaxy squad.
I mean, it's looked a little bit awkward in this first minute, to be frank. I mean, we've seen a couple whiffs here and there, a couple missed touches, a couple backflips and double commits. It looks like both teams are just a little bit maybe on edge here in game number 2. In Galaxy, they do have that bit of buffer with taking game 1, so they have room to make a couple mistakes here and there. But Hydra, they really got to start sharpening things up.
100%. And you know what? I both teams are obviously going to make mistakes because it is on stream, as we see one right there from Colabir. He has made a couple in this series so far. Its stream nerves do have a big effect on how the game is played, and I think that's a contributing factor in almost all the stream games. But you have to calm your nerves, and I think a great way to do that is get a goal on the board early, because once you have that goal, everything kind of just clicks into place. You know what your responsibilities are. As we see Colabir up with one, hits off the ceiling, but he can't find the next touch. Boy Wonder bounces it. Saucy going to be there to collect that one. Now Spuf down the pitch. Saucy going to leave it. Now Spuf shoots it right into Saucy. The 50 going out. Boy Wonder off the backboard. He sends it out to Ace, who almost gets a shot on target. But wait, Oshi might have a chance here. Can't corral that one. Colabir with a shot, and the Hydra team has scored their first goal of the series.
And it's about time. And who else but Colabir to really break through? Saucy was just all over Spuf, forced him a little bit too far upfield, but not quite close enough to make a play on the ball. And Colabir got him beat, plain and simple.
And that's the type of play that really can define a series, as all you need is one goal and the opponents to score 0 goals to win a game. You know, that's all you need. But I mean, if you're this Hydra team, you wouldn't mind a couple more goals here, as Galaxy has looked very proficient on the offensive end. Colabir, the scorer of that goal on the defensive side. Oshi over to Colabir, who's going to flip past that one. This ball is floating up in the Hydra zone. Ace in the midfield. Spuf can't reach that one. Such a close chance for this Galaxy team, as Boy Wonder gets a nice 50. Ace up with it. Boy Wonder gonna hopefully shoot, and he almost actually puts that one on target. It was a little close for Hydra, and they're just keeping up the pressure. So far, 6 shots in this game, but they've netted 0 goals so far. What do you think has to change for this Galaxy squad, or is it just Hydra playing defense that much better than game 1?
I mean, I definitely think the defense has looked a lot better from Hydra, but I still think the offense from Galaxy can find some ways through. This could be a good chance. No, that's a great touch from Saucy, but again, finding each other a little more on the offensive side, maybe keeping that ball a little bit closer. Hydra have done well being able to kind of break up these plays, as you can see it time and time again.
Yeah, they've done a much better job. It seems like they're more confident and less hesitant. I think that's a big problem with some of the teams, is you can't be hesitant in the defensive zone. That's the one place you can't be hesitant. Offense, sure. Like, you know what? You don't need to score a goal every single time you're in the offensive zone, but defense, you need to save the ball every time you're on the defensive end. So I feel like, you know, for this Hydra team, they just need to trust their gut. And I think that's what they're starting to do a little bit more. Is Colabir, it's going to waterfall down. Can anyone be there? No, he hits it off the backboard. Spuf gets a touch down the pitch. Saucy going to be there and going to give it right to Oshi, who gets a touch. Gets a second. He can't find a third, as Boy Wonder plays exceptional defense right there. He's going to get a touch. Wave dash. Try to find a pass, but Oshi there to meet him. Spuf with a little bit of a makeshift pinch. Off the backboard it goes. Can Ace maybe find a shot? No, he's going to opt for the pass here. Boy Wonder sending it down. Ace going to... he has 12 boosts to work with, and he finally gets 100. He's going to maybe go for a demo, but Hydra staying strong. 35 seconds left in this match. Can Galaxy find a goal to even out this game 2, or will Hydra sneak away with a game 2 victory here? Spuf chasing down this ball. He can't make contact. Boy Wonder misses his touch, and now Oshi, nice fake on Spuf. He continues to have himself a great game, a great series so far, as Colabir gets a touch, cannot find the second, almost snuck it past him. Saucy with a great shot. Colabir out in the midfield. Boy Wonder gonna pop it high. Spuf gets it over another, and now Saucy gonna be there to send it the other way. He has to put it to the ground. Can he do it? No, not yet. It's still up in the air. Boy Wonder pops it high to Spuf. Spuf can't find another touch, and now it's Ace off the backboard. Well, I guess if you count Saucy the backboard, as he's gonna send it down the pitch. It's in the midfield. Colabir is gonna keep it up. You know, a little interesting play, but I don't mind it. But Oshi gonna eventually put it to the ground, and Hydra looked much better in that game too, and you can really start to see why they've been so successful this season.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was the defense was clicking a lot more. Again, we kind of mentioned it halfway through that match. They were really doing well interrupting the offensive plays that Galaxy were developing. They were doing a great job taking away those passes before they really started. You could see Galaxy towards the end of that match, they looked almost out of options. They were trying to get more and more creative, whether that be bump plays, passing plays, trying to pepper the backboard, but nothing they did worked. And that is such a frustrating feeling to have as a player. Now they have to go into this next game and still try and figure something out.
You know what? And that's what series are for. It's a best of five. There's some trial and error to be had. Games one and two are perfect time to try out things and see what works. And I think games three, four, and five are where you execute those plans. At this game three, big for both teams. It's a swing game. Whoever wins this one has match point in the series. Spuf off the backboard. Saucy gonna get a touch. Maybe a double. Can't find the touch, but almost a double from Colabir. He had to attempt that one, or else he was getting stuffed at the goal line. Oshi sends it back to Saucy, who pops it high. Can anyone from Galaxy get to it? And no, Colabir gets to it. Ace running back to this one. He's gonna get a nice 50. Oshi 50s it high. Boy Wonder kind of finagling his way up the ceiling. Spuf gonna get a nice 50, and that's a beautiful 50 from Spuf to put his team up by 1.
Yeah, and Spuf he seemed to be a guy who can create plays seemingly out of nothing. There's one there, jumping right behind Boy Wonder, and there's just nothing the defense can do in that situation. Colabir thought he had a free clear, and Spuf just came flying past it.
You know what? That was just such a beautiful play. You call that luck all you want, but that's a power of 50s. But Saucy, he's gonna snipe it, and now it's tied 1-1.
I mean, it's always great to do a turnaround, and Spuf getting dunked himself, and then Oshi a dime out middle to Saucy, and there's just nothing you can do from point blank range if you're Spuf there. And Hydra, you gotta respect the ability to take a tough conceding goal for the first one and then get right back into it.
It's a bounce back for this Hydra team that has really impressed me. After being beaten 3-0 in game one, they come out game two, win that one, and now in game three they get scored on early, and they've responded within 5 seconds of that first goal. So just there's resilience from this Hydra squad. They won't quit, they won't give up, and it seems like they're never down on their luck. As Ace to the backboard, Spuf gonna be there. Saucy and Colabir pinch it out. She can't find the redirect. A very good chance. Saucy pops it high. Spuf gonna be there. He scored one already in this game three. Can he score another one? Gets a nice flip reset, and I think a little bit of an accidental double there as Boy Wonder 50s it. Ace gonna try to 50 him himself, but Colabir is just big bodying this whole Galaxy team and somehow gets it to the other end.
Yeah, got a little bit of a bump from behind there to help him out, but ultimately not getting punished for it is Galaxy. Now we're kind of seeing both these teams at a little bit of a standoff here. Gallium approaching the halfway point here in game three.
Both teams just trying to find that control of the midfield. That's so important, especially in Rival League, is controlling that midfield. As we have Boy Wonder trying to sneak it behind, and he did. Had to have Colabir come up behind. As it's off the backboard, Spuf accidentally side flips, and now Boy Wonder sends it off the sidewall. Spuf is going to beat his defender, and now Oshi left to defend. Ace just puts it top left, and Galaxy are up by 1.
Yeah, ultimately just saw a lot of good pressure. Spuf the outspeed, and Oshi just too awkward. Needed to charge that ball off the backboard, just send it safely to the corner. Tried to hesitate, maybe start an air dribble out of his own side, and got burned.
You know what? Play with fire, you're gonna get burned, and I think he got burned there. Spuf, instead of the bump, accidentally passes it out, but Boy Wonder is gonna find the finish, and Galaxy are somehow finding these goals out of what I think are very interesting opportunities.
Yeah, Spuf and Ace is doing everything they can to make that play uncomfortable for Oshi, and they did their job well, and then all Boy Wonder had to do was fly in, send that one through, and we saw a 1-1 game. Now Galaxy have immediately turned it up, but this looks like a dangerous mistake, and they'll get punished the other way.
You know what? Goals just flying left and right here, and it's just mistake after mistake from both teams, seeming to cost them some goals here, as Oshi's going to put it in the back of the net. And now Hydra only down by 1. We've seen them come back from deficits like this before. Actually, it was early on in this game 3 where they came back from a deficit. We see Ace taking control of the ball, flicks it atop right, and you know, he gets it over 2 defenders, but unfortunately not a follow there. Spuf gonna try to beat them, and now a double commit comes out from Hydra. That's very dangerous. Boy Wonder gets a very punishing touch, but the backboard defense is there for Hydra. Oshi sends it down in the midfield. Ace up with 1. He can't find another touch as he's out of boost. Colibeer gets 1, tries to hit a Cuxer, but unfortunately does not quite have the power that he probably wanted on that one. Ace gonna send it down. He's gonna drive it into the Hydra zone. Spuf up with it. He gets a nice 50. Can Boy Wonder finish? Oh my goodness. Colibeer with the great save, but now this is an opportunity for Hydra. Puts it bottom left, and that's beautiful placement from the substitute.
Yeah, not looking like a substitute on that play, making the save, finding the turnaround, the demo through the midfield as well, but the placement on that shot as well is clinical.
Oh man, you know, chills, absolute chills from Colibeer. I mean, you know, he struggled so heavily in that game 1. It just seems like mistake after mistake was coming from him, but now he just seems so comfortable. And it's not only in the offensive end. Yes, he scored a lot this series, but his defense is exceptional. I mean, he racks up like at least 2 saves every game. He's just very much a pest in that defensive zone, and Galaxy are going to have to find a way to deal with him if they want to win this series, as it's off the backboard. Boy Wonder with a touch, going to try to 50 out Saucy, but unsuccessful. Colibeer gets a demo onto Ace, and now Oshi has a little bit of room. He's going to send it off the ceiling. Spuf going to be there to contain that one. All 3 Galaxy players are in the corner. That's not ideal, as Oshi off the backboard it goes. Boy Wonder there to corral that one. He sends it across. Can Spuf find a touch? Of course he does. A bang down the pitch. Boy Wonder off the backboard. Can Ace find the shot? But another great save from Colibeer, even though it didn't count on the scoreboard. Boy Wonder tries to fake out Oshi, but he doesn't fall for it. Colibeer cuts the ball, and now Ace up with it. He can't find it past this Hydra defense, who seems to be so good right now. Boy Wonder off the sidewall, tries to get a double, and he successfully does, but wait, this causes a little bit of commotion in the Hydra zone. It's going to be saved away. Spuf. Oh my goodness, top right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, jumping on that mistake immediately. Oshi panicked, boomed it off the sidewall, and Spuf, a beauty to the far post upper 90, and no one could save that.
I thought it was a pass. You know, I was like, you know what, that's a pretty solid pass, but then it just traveled in the back of the net. That was a beautifully placed shot, but Hydra still in this one. Less than 15 seconds to go. Colibeer off the ceiling. He gets a nice touch out to midfield. Oshi with a 50. He gets it. Colibeer gets demoed for his troubles, and now a bump comes out in the Galaxy zone. Ace gets 1. All they have to do is pop it down, and they have a game 3 victory, and they successfully do. Galaxy, it seemed like after this game was tied 3-3, they lost all their momentum, but with that shot from Spuf, everything just didn't matter anymore as they sneak away with this game 3 victory, and they are now on match point.
I mean, it was still a good-looking game from Hydra, being down 3-1, being able to bring it back and tie it up. But again, the clock started to wind down. The defense started to panic. We saw a couple double commits. Saw that one loose ball just sent off of the sidewall, and who else but Spuf to capitalize on it. He was really all over the place offensively for Galaxy this game, as he really has been all series. But now going into game number 4, Hydra have to win back to back. And you know, I said it at the beginning of this series, Gallium, if Galaxy are able to get it to game 4, game 5, I think that just favors them more and more.
You know what? I think it just might, as you know, Jonas, this is Forbidden Temple after all. It's game 4, Forbidden Temple. Some wacky things happen, and Jonas, you know, I apologize. You know, my etiquette hasn't really been the best. I forgot to ask for your prediction, so I'm just gonna ask for this game 4 in particular. Who do you think's taking this one?
I think here in game 4, it's going to go the way of Hydra. I think we're going to see them start to change things up a little bit. I think their offense is going to get a little more aggressive. We're going to see some of that sharper defense that was able to cut down plays from Galaxy. I think we're going to see them take this 4th game, and I think Galaxy are going to get the job done in game 5, and it's going to be another heartbreaker for Hydra. But you know what? They're going to get on the board first here.
You know, you might just be a fortune teller, Dronas, as Saucy gets it over to an Oshi with the follow-up there. Beautiful play from those two guys as they have to carry a lot of Dr. Brown's load, but it seems like it's not really that much of a weight that they need to carry because Colibear has just looked phenomenal in this series, but it's off the backward. Boy Wonder with a free double tap, and he gets it. It's now tied.
Yeah, I mean, he's just automatic if he's given that. The bump came through, got the clear chip in that. That is just a wide open net, and that's exactly what you like to see if you're going for a free double. So this one tied up quickly, and this looking a little similar to last game.
Just a little bit similar, but, you know, it is game 4 after all. Some things can happen as, oh my goodness, Saucy, a beautiful 50. He sends it off the backboard. Almost a dangerous shot there, Spuf. Up to Boy Wonder, but he misses his touch. Colibear down to Oshi, who sends it into the car of Ace. Saucy now. Off the backboard it goes. Powerful backboard shot, but Boy Wonder with a nice backboard read. It's up, and Colibear with a very clutch save. He pinches it out, but it's still in danger as Ace gets a nice touch here. Saucy sends it down the pitch. It's in the midfield. Boy Wonder gonna turn for that one. He's gonna get a touch. Maybe a second. He does. Spuf misses his touch. A calculated fake, but it goes into a bump, and those are the kinds of plays that win your team games. Even when you do make a little bit of a mistake, just trying to right that mistake as fast as possible is key here, Dronas.
Yeah, Spuf is a guy who very much has his eyes set forward when whether he's going for something offensively or looking to play support, he's always looking to move up the field, and you can see him move so quickly forward. Even if he misses the ball, doesn't get the touch or the pass he wants, he will immediately turn, look for a bump, look for something else he can do to contribute moving the play forward.
You know, even though the bump meta isn't quite, you know, as powerful as it used to be, it's still so effective as Boy Wonder doesn't need it. He's just gonna big body this ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, Spuf again finding a great double here to open things up. And you see Oshi rotated far post, but then again trying to make a play on that ball from that angle. It's just all Boy Wonder. He puts away a second. He has got the 2 for Galaxy so far.
You know, and he is that new pickup, as I mentioned, and such a great pickup. I mean, DJD could not stop talking about this guy, and I don't blame him. His Boy Wonder, just exceptional Rocket League from him. He's just such a clinical goal scorer, not only in this series, but as I've watched him in the Nemesis Gaming League for some years now, he just seems to always find the ball in places where I honestly don't know how he shoots the ball in the back of the net sometimes, but he finds his way. As wait a second, Boy Wonder might have a shot here. Saucy and his teammate are gonna 50 it up. Oshi down the pitch it goes. This Hydra team needs a goal here to even out this game 4, and they've done it before. We'll see if they can't do it here. Spuf, a nice 50. It's gonna go down the pitch. He's gonna get some dashes going on the wall. Ace up with it. Colibear, a nice 50. Now this is a chance for Hydra, but 2 of them don't have boost. Colibear almost with the 50. Boy Wonder gonna deny that one. Boy Wonder sends it out. Can anyone be there to follow it? Spuf gonna head on back, and Ace gonna bang it down. Saucy has to be there to corral that one. He misses his touch. Boy Wonder, can he get the read? He does. It's off the backboard, but Oshi, a beautiful save there, and that could have been real dangerous, Dronas.
Yeah, that looked like a great looking shot, but unfortunately it's just one of those ones where the angle so tough to find consistently. And now some good pressure. Another big save comes through.
I mean, it seems like Spuf just, you know, the only place he can shoot is just every single corner. You know, he plays 4 corners in Rocket League, and that one almost snuck past the defender. That would have been an incredible shot, but a nice bump from Boy Wonder, and Ace is going to get his first of this game 4.
And this is just one of those plays where it is so brutal because you can see Saucy, you know, his eyes got big, looking for that ball, looking for the big clear, and then suddenly he's just completely taken out, and Galaxy find themselves a cushion with less than 80 seconds to go.
It seems like Hydra are back in their game 1 form. They're just in the back foot every single time, and Ace with his second of the game, assisted by Boy Wonder once more.
Yeah, I mean, he is just heating up, dropping this one down. And again, there was just no one to quickly get through that play. Oshi had to wait down in front, and then Ace threading the needle. Top shelf, and Hydra, they're starting to fall apart here on defense.
They are, and they have 6 saves in this game so far. Galaxy putting on so much pressure. Colibear with a nice shot, and that's exactly what they needed to hopefully find their way back into this game 4.
Yeah, just a quick turnaround, Saucy up high, force the defense to look a little bit awkward, not a ton of boost, and hey, you're gonna take it any way you can get it.
You know, Call of Beers looked great this entire series, but both his teammates have as well. I just Hydra. It just seems like whenever they get in the offensive end, they can't capitalize as much as this Galaxy team has. They're not generating good enough chances, but this might be a chance right here. Spuf on the goal line to save that one away. Spuf and Ace just bumping each other, a little high five, if you will. Boy Wonder gonna cut his teammate, and now Ace is back with 0 boost. Spuf hits it into his own corner. Oshi up with 1. Colibeer maybe with a shot. It was on target. Boy Wonder with the save. Can Oshi double this one? He cannot. He actually Goombas his own teammate. And now Spuf and Boy Wonder in the corner awkwardly. Seems as though both teams have a bit of some problems with double committing, but it's not going to matter if they can find a way to win. And Galaxy so far has the upper hand. Ace gets a nice 50, but Saucy passes it out into the midfield. Colibeer can't get the 50 he wants, and now Spuf continues it into this Hydra zone. Oshi up with 1. He sends it out to Colibeer, who sends it down the pitch. Ace just has to buy time, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Galaxy take this series 3-1, and now they have a much needed win in such a tight division that they're in.
Yeah, that'll definitely pick them up even more as they will move up to 7-5. Not a bad record. Meanwhile, Hydra, they will drop down to 7-4 again. They started 5-0, now sitting down at 7-4. It's been a tough run.
It has been a tough run, but I honestly, they didn't have Dr.Brown this week, so you can give them a little bit of
Yeah.
slack there. But Colibeer played really well. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they switched around the roster a little bit, maybe got him more involved with Dr.Brown. But I mean, just an overall pretty great series to start us off here. Both teams showing what they got. It wasn't one-sided at all. All of the games were very close, and Galaxy just edged it out. I mean, it seems like, honestly, my MVP of the entire series had to be Boy Wonder. I mean, despite his relatively low MMR, he is just such insane value for his MMR. I mean, he just dominates every single part of the game, and he dominated this entire series.
Yeah, I would agree. I liked what Spuff was doing on offense. I liked him creating plays and really trying to be a playmaker, regardless if he was scoring or passing or bumping. But ultimately, who I think had the most all-around value, offense and defense, I would have to agree was Boy Wonder.
He just found every single ball. That could be because he's ball chasing, but ball chasing, it's the Gallium special. You got to ball chase every once in a while. But you know what? Even though this series number 1 was pretty great, we still have 2 more great series coming y'all's way. And I heard a little birdie told me, and this little birdie might be the GM of the Atrium org. The last game is going to be the most spicy. That one is between Motion and Raptors. So some interesting storylines there. So make sure to stick around. Jonas, thank you again for casting with me. It's always a pleasure being in the booth with you.
Absolutely, you as well.
And, we're going to wrap up the series number 1. Series number 2 going to come at you at approximately 8:45 on the dot. We'll see you there. And you know what? It's going to be a beautiful series. So hope to see you there. Peace out.